Hi, and welcome to this week's The Mortgage Broker Broadcast. I'm your host, Craig Skelton. I'm a mortgage business owner, mentor, and coach, and I'm here to help self employed mortgage brokers and business owners build the business that they want. This is the podcast that's made for mortgage brokers at every single level, whether you're just getting started out or running your own mortgage broker firm or focused on growing and scaling your existing business. This podcast is about helping you grow your business, sharpen your mindset, and deal with the day to day challenges of being self employed. And this week, we're going to continue with the AI focus. We're going to get a bit technical, but in a good way. So far, we've talked about how to use AI, how to write prompts, how to build it into your processes and your workflow. But today, I just wanted to take it one step further and give you a bit of a breakdown of the actual tools that are out there right now that you can start using and integrate into your business. So if you have been wondering, like, this all sounds good, this all sounds great, Craig, but what app should I be using? What software is actually helpful for mortgage brokers like me? Well, this episode is here to give you clarity and some of the answers with regards to how there is a lot of AI out there. So what I want to do is just sort of give you some clarity about what you can use within your business. But before we get into that, just a quick reminder, tomorrow evening, Thursday the 3rd of July, Jonathan Needham and I are running our free live webinar called Foundations to Freedom. So whether you plan on going self-employed or you already have and you just need more structure, then this is for you. We'll talk about mindset, systems, a bit on AI or what to avoid and how to build a business with real freedom. The link is in the notes to register or just send me a message and we'll get your seat on that webinar tomorrow night. And if you are enjoying the series, enjoy the podcast, please give it a like, please leave a review, please follow. It helps more brokers discover this podcast. So, as I said, we've talked about quite a bit of detail about AI and workflows and prompts, but we've not got into the actual tools, the actual software to use. And that's what I wanted to talk about on this podcast. So the first bit is do you need to know the tools? There are a lot of AI tools out there. And as a mortgage broker, business owner, you don't need to know them all. You don't need to become a tech wizard overnight. Absolutely not. But you do need to know what's available so then you can save time, avoid those procrastination, boring tasks that you don't want to do, and stay consistent with your communication and focus on growing your business. So, what I want to do is give you a short list of tools that are actually useful for a self employed mortgage broker. Not techie, not overhyped tech, just stuff that actually works. So, let's look at those tools. The first one, which we've talked about all the time, is ChatGPT. So, if you listen to the last few episodes, you already know about this one, but just to recap, what does it actually do? Well, ChatGPT is a conversational AI assistant. You type in a question or a task, and it gives you content or ideas instantly. So, what would you use ChatGPT for? Well, writing emails, creating social media posts, summarizing documents, explaining mortgage terms in plain English. And why does this matter? Well, it replaces your blank page. It gives you a starting point in seconds, which can be a huge time saver. And do you do the free one or the paid one? Well, you can do both. The free version is quite powerful. The paid version just gives you more features and better quality. So that's ChatGPT. The second one is Grammarly. What does Grammarly do? Well, it checks your spelling, your grammar, and tone as you write. Grammarly also adds AI powered suggestions for rewriting or improving. So what would you use that for? Well, polishing your client emails, making sure your LinkedIn posts sound confident and professional, and catching like those small errors that can cost you credibility. And why does it matter? Well, you want to sound sharp, not sloppy. Grammarly makes sure your communications are always on point. And can you get free or paid? Well, the free version is great. The paid one just adds advanced tone control and AI writing. The third one is Otter AI. So, what does Otter AI do? Well, it transcribes your meetings, your phone calls, Zoom sessions, team sessions into searchable notes. So, what would you use that for? Well, capturing key points from client meetings, keeping a record from a compliance point of view, and creating action lists from those calls. And why would you use that? Why does it matter? Well, you don't have to scribble notes if you're using this kind of AI. You can stay present in the conversation and then review those notes later. Is it free or is it paid? Well, the free plans do exist. Paid plans just unlock longer meetings and more features. There's also Notion AI. Well, what does Notion AI do? Well, it combines note taking, task management, and AI writing in one workspace. So, what would you use that for? Well, planning your week, drafting content, creating like a dashboard for your pipeline, content, and your workflows. And why does that matter? Well, if you're juggling leads and then tasks and follow up, this just helps keep everything in one place. And it can generate ideas or drafts for you too. Is it free or is it paid? Well, you can get a free personal plan, and then the AI tools come with a small add on fee. I also want to talk about Descript. Well, what does Descript do? Well, I use Descript every single day. Descript is a video editing made very, very easy. Descript lets you edit the video by editing the transcript. And I'm hoping that makes sense. What would you use that for? Well, creating your videos, creating explainer videos, recording mortgage myth busting content, or sharing educational clips with clients. Descript does really help you do that. And why does that matter? Well, video builds trust, builds your brand. These tools make it far easier, even if you're not natural in front of the camera. And is it free or paid? Both Descript offer free tiers. If you are creating video content, trust me, Descript will save you so much time. And the last one is Zapier. Well, what does Zapier do? Well, it connects your apps together and automates repetitive tasks. So, Calendly, email, and your CRM. It brings it all together. So, what would you use that for? Well, sending follow up emails automatically. Zapier would do that. Triggering tasks when a client books a meeting, it will help with that. And then moving data between systems without the manual entry. It helps with all that too. So why does that matter? Well, it reduces your admin time, keeps your systems talking to each other, and free or paid. Well, free for basic workflows, absolutely. Paid for a bit more complex automation. So that's just some of the apps that you could use in your day-to-day life as a mortgage broker, business owner. And what are the common concerns with those? Well, do I need to learn them all right away? Absolutely not. Just start with one. Start with ChatGPT and then just build from there. And what if you're not techie? Absolutely do not worry about it. What I would say is most of these tools are built to be user friendly. So you don't need to use all the features and all the facilities, just what helps you. But what I'd say is that if you're not techie, then don't worry because most of them, all of them have got webinars, how to, and give you that experience without sort of having that tech knowledge. And will this AI replace you? Absolutely not. These tools don't replace you. They just enhance what you do. They take care of those, keep saying every time, the boring bits, the things that you don't want to do, the stuff you procrastinate on. It takes care of all those things so you can show up where it counts. So let's just look at an actionable step for this week. What's so now you understand a bit about the apps that are available, the AI that's available, the software that's available to help you as a broker and a business owner. Now you know what is there. What I would say is do your own research. Think about things you want to do. Think about things you want help with. Look at the different pieces of software. So just do it right now. So this week, just pick one tool to explore this week. Set aside 30 minutes to explore it, to mess around with it, but just really give it that 30 minutes. Just don't dismiss it and move on because you really need to explore each one and then use it on a real task in your business, even something that is small. Just do it and use the AI this week to then see how it can help you and then save your favorite outputs or processes from there. As I said before, you don't need to master everything overnight, but take small steps will set you apart from other brokers and business owners that are still doing everything manually. So that's it. That's this week's The Mortgage Broker broadcast. talking about the apps and the software and the AI you can use, tools you can use in your business. So thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. If you found this podcast helpful, please like, please follow, please leave a review. It really helps more brokers discover the show. And remember, if you are thinking about becoming a self-employed mortgage broker or launching your own brand and business or ready to take your business to the next level, go to my website, craigskelton.co.uk, book a discovery call, just get in touch and let's have a chat about how I can help you second half of 2025 to achieve what you want to achieve this year. And as always, please don't forget to run your own race.